Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and today is Saturday, September 14th, 2024, and yes, I'm on my way to the flea market to vend this weekend. So I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying something I really agree with about how we, as people, have a tendency to make others into like gods and worship them and give them too much power, which is how we got ourselves, I'm not going to say just as a nation, but worldwide, into this mess. So we all have a leader, especially if we like this leader, we give this leader all, the power when they don't really have all the power. You have your own power, okay? And the same thing goes for entertainers and like actors, singers, stuff like that. And even as a little girl, I was never impressed with that kind of stuff because I was like, well, they're just human beings and this is what they're doing right now. This is to make a living or a job. They're just like anybody else. They might make more money. I often wondered why, because that didn't make sense to me. Making more than our doctor goes to school for how long, and this actor or actress makes more than the doctor. That doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, we keep giving away our power to gods that don't exist. So we have our own power, okay? And we can take care of ourselves. We can make our own decisions. Yet we keep giving our power away to these gods that don't exist. We turn these people, they're just people, into gods. And that's what I, noticed about the human race. Everything's one extreme or another. Black or white. There's no middle. There's no gray. It doesn't, I think we need to work on that. I think it would do us good to do that. It's, I remember, how long has it been now? 29 years ago, when I first met my son's father. He had just returned from Las Vegas, where he lived for I think about 18 years. He's a drummer and a vocalist. He was in a couple different bands there, consistently worked at the hotel lounges with bands who were well known there. Okay, so that was his life. And I remember on our second date, him telling me all the people he had met. And he has met and known some very famous people. And I'm listening to his stories. They were very interesting. And to this day, he tells these stories, and I'm fascinated by them. I find them entertaining. But, I guess, I don't know, he said to me, this was on our second date, "You don't believe me." And I said, "Yes, I do." He goes, "Most people don't." I said, "Well, why wouldn't I? You just told me what you did for a living in Las Vegas, so why wouldn't this be true?" I said, "I just don't get impressed with famous people because, well, they're just people." That's the way I feel, and I feel that way about leaders. And what I have learned over the last several years is that these leaders and these entertainers cannot be trusted anyways. I mean, not all of them are like that, but I would say the majority, you can't trust them. They have an agenda. Yeah, I remember a day when you can like an entertainer and not be aware of their opinions politically or spiritually, religiously. You just enjoyed their art. Those days are long gone. And, if I come across an entertainer who does not share their opinions and stuff like that and just shares their talent, that's an entertainer I love. But my point is, we need to start remembering who we are. We are directly from Source God. We are pieces part of Source God, every single one of us. And we have the power to take care of ourselves. And okay, everybody, oh my God, well, there's people out there who are crazy and do this, that, and the other thing. We have been brainwashed for a very, very, very long time to believe from the moment we are born that we are horrible, terrible people. And that we need this vengeful God that doesn't exist. I'm not saying God doesn't exist, I'm saying the vengeful God doesn't exist. And, we need religion and governments because we are so terrible. When you tell people something over and over and over and over again, they will get to the point that they believe it. And there are some people who have a weaker sense of self, and will fall for it and start to believe it and act on it. And these are people who also get used by the powers that want to be to wreak havoc in society, so that the powers that want to be can institute new laws to control us. Okay, that's what I feel is really going on. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Anyways, we have to stop that. We really, really have to stop giving our power. They are not gods. Okay, now, all right, when it comes to voting, I'm not going to tell anybody who to vote for. What I am going to say is you vote for the person you believe is the step in the right direction to our freedom and to what's best for us. That's how we should always vote. I suggest we all stop sharing who we're voting for, because that's causing rifts in relationship that should never ever happen. But these people are stepping stones to get us to where we want to be. We need to make the federal government smaller, like it was intended to be. And we need to take back our power. You protect our country, okay? That's your job. We'll take care of the rest. We have states for a reason. Now, I would also like to point out that what I'm saying really is not just for the United States. This is a worldwide problem. This whole thing. It's going on worldwide. So however your country is run, how you vote or whatever, and go with that, and whoever you think is the person who will be the stepping stone. But they're just that, just a stepping stone. They're to guide. They are not to command. They are not to control. They are not to be tyrannical. Just guide, okay? And they are stepping stone to something better. Now, me being a libertarian, for me it's going to be very little government. Us governing our own communities. That's my dream. So to me, whoever I decide to vote for, that person is somebody I feel would be someone to get us closer to freedom. Because we're not free. Even in America, we're not free. Okay? That's another thing with Americans. They guilt us. Oh, well, you're the freest people and you have this. Yeah, that's true. But they're trying to guilt us into settling. Never settle. When you see your freedoms being taken away, don't say, oh, well, we're still the freest people in the land. That's brainwashing. That's gaslighting. Never settle. No, I'm not willing to give up my freedoms. Yes, we are the freest people on this planet, and we're going to stay that way. And we're going to be an example to the rest of the people on this planet in the hopes that they get to the point they want to be at with their freedom. Not saying, oh yeah, we're so spoiled because we have all this freedom, so we shouldn't complain when we lose it. Wrong. That is so wrong, people. Because when we give up our freedoms, we take away the hope of another country that might not have any freedom at all. Always remember that. Never give in. Never settle. Never. We should never be giving up our freedoms. Our freedoms are our spiritual right given to us by Source God. And when you look at it that way, you cannot say, well, people are going to go around killing. No, they're not going to go around killing because that is not a spiritually given right, okay? So anyways, just had all these thoughts about all this. It's like, oh man, I just harvested a bunch of goldenrod. Look at all that. Come here and get some more. Anyways, yeah, we can't give in, we can't settle, and we cannot worship gods that don't exist. They are just like us, just like you and me, these people. Whether they're entertainers, actors, politicians, world leaders, they're just like us. Alright? They might have a different talent than you do, and that's all it is. They are no less. I'm sorry, they are less politicians. They're no better than you are. Anyways, that's the way I feel about it. We have to start remembering who we are and the power. And I'm talking personal power. I am definitely not talking about the bridges out. Power to take over the world or control others. I'm talking about your own personal power to run your own life. So I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.